Mosquito. Okay.
Perfect intro.
Welcome back to another Jimmy video. The last update you saw, we were building a transmission for it, and since then, things have escalated a little bit. We have one of those now, and then there's nothing else. After we did 666, we decided that we absolutely needed to do sick week, but both of us want to drive. Jason's going to drive the D150, and I've been working on this project for a couple years, so we decided, hey, let's finish it.
With, I don't know, 30 days?
I think it's 31.
Oh, okay.
That extra day really helps. The last couple weeks we've been kind of scrambling, stripping it down to basically nothing, and we didn't include that because I don't know how many people want to see us stripping down an S10 Blazer for 2 weeks. Things are kind of mocked up at the moment because we're still working on finalizing a few things. We painted the engine bay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can see the firewall here. We painted the inside of the fenders and everything, so it should be very clean underneath the hood. Stripped the inside out and started getting a roll cage in it, and we were like, hey, we should probably record some of this. I guess we can show you guys where we're at.
Yeah, let's take a look.
This is the aluminum 5.3 that we built. It'll just be NA for now.
What was your original goal with this? It was like 400 horsepower daily driver or something?
350, 400 horsepower, which it probably will end up making that, unfortunately. For the sake of time, this is what we're working with for the moment, and like I said, we're gonna work with something a little bit different after sick week. Got the MSD Atomic Air Force on it, Holley brackets, pretty much everything is Holley on here actually. They make all the pieces to put this into an S10, but what we found out, some parts on a Jimmy are different.
Yeah, it turns out a first gen 2-wheel drive Jimmy or S10 Blazer has a different frame completely than the 4-wheel drive or the regular S10 truck. So.
The main difference is this hard curve in right here. On the S10s, it's not quite as aggressive.
So that presented some issues. These manifolds, for example, we had to cut and grind and then back plug the hole to clear the steering shaft, which this is all a kit from Holley, so generally it would fit pretty nicely. And that's actually why we opted for the manifolds versus a long tube header. Her power goals weren't super astronomical, so a manifold would be just fine. We've learned going through this that some of the parts aren't gonna work quite the way they should just because of what we're doing with this vehicle. But it's been fun.
The 2.8 basically sits on some engine stands, is that what you call it?
Yeah, essentially there's a stand that gets welded onto the frame that lifts it up higher because the 2.8 is a 60-degree V. So we had to go and cut those off to get these to bolt down where the 4.3 would go. It's very silly and really annoying when we set it in there and didn't realize that.
Yeah. We're like, why is this sitting so high?
I know.
Our friend David also made us another manual brake plate, so we'll be able to finish up the brakes. We're gonna have to change the pedal ratio and do basically all the same fun stuff that we had to do to the Dodge.
Look how good it is at being a shelf. For the record though, it doesn't mean it sits. It just means we're really bad at moving stuff around, and that was all placed on there like 2 days ago.
Well, that is true. When the Jimmy exploded.
We use our truck. Yeah, how does one, like such a small little vehicle have so much interior? It's literally this big. I don't understand.
Yeah, it seems like with 30 days till our race, we should be, you know, putting things back together, not taking them apart.
You gotta cut it down to the wire.
Yeah, he loves these timelines.
I do. I don't know what we're gonna do with all the leftover time we're gonna have.
Jason's gonna be working on our exhaust problem today. He's got some cool ideas with some things he ordered to turn it away from the frame, so we're gonna see how that works and hope for the best. Wow. Yeah. It's tight.
It's tight, but it should clear just fine. I got plenty of room on this side. And it's 2.5 inch, and this is a 3-inch transition, so that way under the vehicle it can be 3-inch for whenever you put super cool long tubes on it or whatever other nonsense you get into in the future. I'm gonna tack this up and make it look pretty.
Dang. Here.
Look at that.
That'll work. Oh. Oh.
892 problem solved. Probably put the oxygen sensor probably around here somewhere. Always on the top side of the pipe. Fun fact, don't put your oxygen sensor on the bottom side of your pipe because then condensation will ruin the sensor. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I read it on the internet. Will you hold this so it doesn't unspool?
Yes.
The wire.
I've got it like in between my pinky finger. Of course, we ran out of welding wire on the last weld, but the cage is almost done. It's looking really cool so far. I didn't want to go too crazy with the cage just because I do still plan on street driving it fast enough to go like 10s. Hey.
Ow.
I totally forgot to put a towel over that door panel.
Oh,
Whoops.
Oh, come on. Kinda got it on there. It's fine.
OSHA would definitely approve of what you're doing right now.
Safety third.
Alright, so I just got this cage prepped to spray some paint on it. Had to sand a couple spots, get all the welding scuzz off. You know how it goes. So I didn't want to do a generic black cage given that the interior is very red. So I found this cool color that's like a really dark brownish purple. I painted this little test piece. Nope, not that side. I think it should match pretty well. It's got paint on the back half. Painting a cage is harder than I thought it was going to be. This is hard. Gotta get in here without touching anything. Well, that was a pain in the butt, but it looks really good, so it was worth it. I think it should match the interior pretty nice. We're working on painting some more things.
Yeah.
We're gonna Raptor line the fender tubs.
We're doing minimal prep work here because it doesn't really matter because it's gonna have like 1/8 of an inch of rubberized coating on here.
I can't wait for all the bugs to crawl in it.
It's added texture.
That's a fancy looking rig you got there.
It's not. Sure, that seems like something. If I just, you know. Alright.
Is that a big enough hole?
I think I can make it work. Just like science class or something. 0.4. That's 0.4 right there. So now I gotta mix this for 2 minutes.
Like a shake weight?
That's about 2 minutes, right?
No.
What kind of serial killer shakes and like that?
They look pretty good. I'm happy with this decision already. Auto Metal Direct also sent us a really cool cowl hood for the Jimmy. I've always wanted a cowl hood and never had anything to put it on, so that's exciting. Teamwork makes the dream work. Step 1, mix paint in the dirt.
Some liquefied Jimmy in there.
It's a weird way to put that.
Oh yeah.
That was, oh, all right. We're using the super wet.
This is the super wet.
Don't use too much of that. Jimmy's kind of haggard. That's a lot. Jason, it's gonna be too moist. Got the finest Harbor Freight paint gun. This was $24.99. We normally go for the $9.99 or the $14.99. How's it performing?
Pretty good. Pretty good up to my, standards. All right, Morgan, ruin it.
How do I do this?
I don't know, just point it at it and squirt.
Ah.
So you'll notice the trigger has like a half pull. Pull it a little bit, it'll spray air. If you keep going, you'll feel like double clicks and that'll shoot material. Yeah, you gotta get a little closer.
Okay, that was fun, I'm done.
Okay.
Ooh, that's shiny. We just brought it inside real quick so the bugs would stop crawling around on it, but looks pretty good for an outside paint job with a $24 paint gun. All right, so we've got the Jimmy up in the air to fix the horrible C-notch, but we're also gonna throw the tank back in, and Jason did some pretty cool stuff to it.
Probably should have actually documented this once again. You know, we're great.
He's not good at this.
Terrible. We put a 525 Hellcat pump in it, did some modifications in the bottom, obviously, and then welded on some AN6 male bulkheads. So that way, you can just thread your 90s on here, and we can run steel braided line all the way up to the front. Just because I wasn't sure about the wiring, we added the electrical bulkhead as well with an actual 10 gauge wire, so that way we don't have any cool wires burning up or anything like that.
Been there, done that. So here's this horrible C-notch. You might see like, hey, these welds look good. The person that put it in did that. Who really cares about that?
This one's even worse.
Oh
This
my
one's
God.
fun.
You can literally fit your entire finger almost all the way through here.
Here, they just kind of knock the whole rivet off, and just, you know, we're not gonna worry about that, I guess.
Just even like still together.
Yeah. See if we can't make it look any worse.
Oh. That sounds good. That is the worst sounding weld.
Well, I'm burning through Dookie. Oh god, I'm stuck. It's fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fire retardant.
I'm gonna try and get this carpet cleaned up before we throw it back in. It didn't look so bad in the Jimmy, but now that we have it out, you can tell it's had a hard life. It's not really working. It's not good for off-road terrain. Test for color fastness? What does that mean? Is the color fast? It's red, of course it's fast. Damn it. Aha.
What does this do to your ET?
Maybe a couple tenths. Sick week prep. I didn't plan on doing a full interior restoration with 20 days till sick week, but it was one of those while I'm here things that'll get you in trouble. This headliner looked really sad. Just hit it with some fabric paint. It looks a little streaky, but it'll settle in. The first coat that I did scared me a little bit, but after a couple hours it evened out. Another couple things we finished up is we got the gas tank permanently mounted in here, and we fixed the C-notch. It's better.
It's better.
There's no more gaping holes anymore. Like, these are all filled.
At least they're attached.
It's not ideal, but we were working with what we were given.
Yeah. There was so much of the frame cut out, you know, because they missed the cut that, I mean, there's not much else we could do. So we just kind of filled it up the best we could. Quick update here. Working on the wiring right now. I've been trying to tidy this up. Kind of tied up the ends here, reloomed it a little bit. I'm gonna try to integrate the transmission harness into it. Something else I'm pretty psyched about. I made a cool little power steering line down here. I actually took the factory hard line and welded a AN male to it. So it's just AN6, kind of a little loop-de-loop, but it should work really nice. I don't know if we showed this or not, but modified the header, got everything painted. It's all mounted up permanently now. Looks pretty good. Morgan, what you doing?
Cleaning up the interior that I'm cobbling back together slowly.
Yeah, it's looking good though.
Yeah, it went back in, which is, you know, half the battle with the cage. Every single little piece has gone back in. We had to modify this a little bit. I just took my Dremel and I kind of shaved some of the plastic to be able to fit the bar. After we finish up a little bit of wiring, then we can start putting the back seat in, the front seats in, and it'll almost be a car again.
It's getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
This is part of that wiring we were talking about earlier. I'm gonna mount the battery back here, and a fuel pump relay and stuff will go back there as well. Jason's been back here getting the battery box installed. It fits perfectly back here in this corner, and we wanted it on the passenger side, ideally to offset the driver's side weight, so that's working out nicely. I got some new tail lights for it. Don't mind all these other parts. There's literally Jimmy parts everywhere. We got some packages from Calvert Racing, got the split monos and the cow tracks just like we did on the D150.
but we're probably gonna wait till we get the rear end to hang that stuff on. Then I got a bunch of cool stuff from QA1. I got their drag, lower, and upper control arms. Got some really nice coilovers and a sway bar for some added support, so hopefully I don't do cartwheels. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna put this stuff together with the spindles that I have. I just have regular drop spindles, but I'm gonna get working on that today. There are 14 days until sick week, and Jason's having the time of his life. He's been going through this harness, which is the stock. Is this the engine bay harness? So tell us what you pulled out and why your hands are so sticky.
Either this is factory goo or someone did some sort of sealant on here. I've never seen this before, but it's pretty nice. Basically, just removed certain things from the harness, like the basic necessities. So you have the starter wire, a couple of power wires for the inner harness and the wipers and stuff like that. And then the actual light harness.
Yeah, those are the things we need. Lights, wipers, starter's good.
Starter's good. If not, we could put like a light switch from a house in there.
But obviously we started to put the front clip back on. We're working on that. It's really nice to not have it on because you can get all up close in here and, you know, not have to lean over and hurt your back. We have coils. As nice as it may look on this side, the coil doesn't fit underneath the alternator over here because it has to have the spacers to be able to click in on the top. And then over here, there's just absolutely no way with the steering shaft. We still have to run fuel lines. We got the brakes on. These are gonna be super light, so I'm excited about that. Finished all the QA1 stuff, which I think I may have already shown. But he got the Terminator mounted over here in this corner. We got a 7-inch digital dash to mount once the whole dash goes back in. Most of the interior is back in. And then we just got this today from Moser Engineering. They suggested that we go with a 9-inch, which looks huge for it, but we pretty much just told them, build whatever you like for it. They built us this aluminum center section here, so it'll be super light. That's something we've been trying to focus on with this thing because at the moment it's not going to make a ton of horsepower. It will in the future. They added the back bracing to the housing and all that. Got these beefy axles. We hung the leaf springs in there. Calvert Racing is the best. They got us that stuff super quickly. Piece by piece, we are getting this thing together, struggling a little bit. It's weird using two of the most common platforms, an S10 and an LS, how many issues we have run into.
I think part of it's the way we're building it. Like, we're trying to make it as OEM as possible, which is kind of the way we like to do things. Definitely see why people don't choose to go that route.
Should have kept a small blog. We're gonna get back to work and we will update as much as we can. Got our drive shaft, so that's exciting. How many days out are we? 9? Let's hope it fits.
No, it's gonna fit. Get in there. Look at that.
Shaft Masters up in Michigan is the best, and we called him. He made it same day and shipped it out the next day, 2-day air. I don't even know if I ever showed us finishing the rear end. Hey guys, look.
Look, the rear end.
The rear end's done. It looks really cool. I couldn't bring myself to paint it. I love them like this, so I clear coated it, so hopefully that stops it from rusting. Got our Caltrax on here with our Calvert shocks. Jimmy is almost ready to be a roller again.
Yep, just need some wheels and tires.
I'll be getting some real nice wheels tomorrow. So I think I mentioned the coil problem we were having before and that we were gonna have to make a bracket, but it turns out ICT Billet actually just makes something to fix this problem. You mount this base plate on and then it kind of stacks them like this, so you have all that room on either side. So this is kind of tricky. You have to do them one at a time and make sure the spacers don't fall out when you pull the bolts.
Those are sick.
Yeah.
That was actually a good move.
I actually really like that. Nice and sturdy. It sucks. What I was worried about, these fitting, They don't. They were
What do you
too
need those
short.
for?
That's an easy fix. I'll tell you what, though, this Jimmy does not want to run.
No, it does not.
Everything we do requires a solution. Nothing works.
Nothing works. The good news is I know a local pick and part yard out here in the driveway where you can steal those.
Jason's daily driver, Silverado.
That poor truck.
We harvest parts off of that a lot. Pretty soon I'm going to steal your motor.
Oh, yeah. For some reason. We had to do these fancy
Yep.
oil packs where it ties everything up real tight, mostly for that side. But obviously, you know, these are a bit goofy.
Yeah, those
They're
were
meant-
not really...
Yeah, meant for the stock, you know, configuration, whatever. So we did this, shortened it up, tied it up real nice and tidy. So it's going to plug in. This is for the other side, obviously. That's why the plugs are upside down. We're just going to plug in real nice, and it's going to loop underneath itself and tie into the factory plug right there. Should be nice. And also, don't worry about this throttle cable. This is not ideal. but
Yeah, that's going away.
Yeah. We're going to convert it to drive-by-wire eventually and make that all nice and tidy.
The Jimmy is finally starting to make a shape. The Dodge is still a shelf.
It's a bit different shelf.
We got wheels, which you can obviously see. These are Kaisers. We got them from KOTV Motorsports. He is really awesome. Kept me updated throughout the entire order since they are made to order. And these are brand new. So these took a couple weeks to get, but they are so pretty. I don't even really want to talk about the mess that is the inside right now. And then look at that!
Look at that, with the key. Basically a daily driver, you know?
We are thinking that we may try to start it tomorrow.
Might be late in the day.
We're close, but Jimmy's still fighting. You guys ever have those cars that just kick and scream the entire way? It's like dealing with a toddler. We're gonna get back to work, so we make it, and we will give more updates when we have more things.
We finalized the, I guess, engine bay, chassis harness, got the starter hooked up, and this is going to be the first attempt of, I guess, turning it over to see if the starter functions. It may burn to the ground. I don't know. Just kidding. No, I won't do that. There's no gas in it. It ain't got no gas in it. So go ahead and try it. It works! The only reason I'm really excited about that is because my super sketchy wiring and the factory ignition works, so that's great. One more step completed. Now hopefully it starts first try when it comes time for that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the big day, maybe. Trying to get that Subaru in the video if you could.
All right, so today is the day. It's been 2 years in the making, even though we've really only been working on it the last couple months. I think we are finally gonna try and start it.
Yep, another episode of Will It Run? Or
With
Fit
how
to
this
See.
has been going, I don't even know at this point.
It should start. Whether everything works is another question, but
Well, we put gas in it, I put oil in it, made sure the fuel pump turns on.
fuel pump does turn on, but we do need to prime it to see if it leaks, because it's probably going to leak everywhere, because
Yeah.
that's just how this goes. And we also need to put transmission fluid in it.
We're gonna start it without water.
Yeah, that way it's easier to pull it out, you know, when it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and swap
Yeah, you don't
on,
have to drain much.
You don't have to drain fluid.
How many of these do I need?
Put in 6. Yeah, do like 6, and then we'll start spinning it over. And that way it can the pump can do its things. If not, it'll just overflow the pan and leak everywhere. Oh, you can just pour it in next to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, this is
Not good.
This is a terrible idea. Oh,
No,
there you go.
no, I can do it.
Oh, you can wait till it starts overflowing out the top.
All right, you want to see if it leaks?
Yeah. All right, it's perfectly at 40 PSI right now. It's pretty cool. It's crazy that it holds pressure like that. That's strange to me. It's actually a good thing, but mine never do, so I just assume that it's bad.
You mean it's working correctly for once?
You know, I don't want to say that. One of the things I like to do is pull all the plugs out and turn it over, obviously with the starter, so it should spin over nice and easy. I always pull the plugs off as well, just because on my little race car I used to have, for some reason, if I didn't unplug them, it would actually melt the coil. Weird. Whenever you're ready, Morgan, go ahead and spin it over.
I'm scared.
You can hear how easy it's spinning over with the plugs out. Cranking RPMs high and it makes it oil pressure a lot faster that way. I forgot to unplug the injectors, so I can smell gas, which is actually a good thing because it means the injectors are firing.
They're working, but it's flooded.
Well, the good news is the spark plugs are out, so it's just gonna air dry real quick. Good enough for me.
All right, we're gonna get everything hooked back up here. Get ready to start. All right, I think we're almost ready.
Oh boy.
I swear, Jason, if this does not chop so hard, we're taking it out.
I'm gonna laugh really hard if it just idles like smooth as silk, like a Lincoln Town car.
I'll throw it away. Always need your fire extinguisher.
Yeah, she had an incident a few years back
Yeah.
where the pretty little red car, way on the end down there, almost burnt to the ground actually. It was like a real serious situation, but luckily we had a fire extinguisher.
If we didn't have one, it
Yeah.
literally would have burnt to the ground. It was a fuel fire and it basically took out the entire engine bay as it was, but thankfully Jason is a really good firefighter because I just sat in the car and cried. But now I don't go
That's a true
anywhere without my H3R Performance fire extinguisher. These are a gas, so it doesn't leave that powdery residue on all your stuff.
And impossible to clean off. You
Yeah.
literally have to like start over.
I am very passionate about not doing that again, so.
If it does anything weird, I'll yell at you.
Okay, are we sure?
Send it.
I panicked.
Did you turn it off?
No.
I'm gonna give it a little bit of throttle here. Try it again. Try her again. Shifter hooked up and we want to test the transmission, so I did some really high-tech stuff and grabbed vice grips and put it into drive. So now Morgan's going to start it up and we're going to make sure this thing spins the back wheels.
Up.
Oh geez.
Take two.
Try again. That's a good sign.
Yay.
It goes forwards. We don't need to go backwards or anything.
No.
Well, obviously the real test is putting it on the ground and driving it around.
Yeah, that's a great sign that it runs and spins the hubs. I guess. I was going to say drives, but it doesn't yet.
All right, well, let's do some stuff and get ready to drive this thing.
I feel more confident now.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
To go for our first drive in the Jimmy, and we're leaving for sick week tomorrow, so hopefully all goes well.
First drive in Jimmy. This is terrifying and exciting all at the same time. We just gotta hope that our transmission works, but this is very exciting.
All right, here we go.
Oh, the big moment. Let's see if it actually shifts. Second. Third. ridiculous. We're so excited. We worked so hard on this thing for like the last, what, 40 days?
Yeah, something like that.
Literally like 40 days from nothing to a built truck is awesome. This is great. So this is pretty crazy. We just did the like startup wizard on the Holley, and the AFR's cruising are literally 14.7, 14.5, like right on the money with basically zero tuning. This is insane. Like I can't say enough about how good Holley is. Like this is just incredible. Well, we did it. We made it to our first destination, the gas station.
Yeah, for gas, and we need to weigh it.
Oh yeah, cat scales. It's basically the rite of passage. Everything we build, we go straight to the cat scales. All right, what are our guesses, Morgan? With you in it, race weight. Come on now. Bolting. Realistically.
29.50.
I'm gonna be less optimistic. I'm gonna say 31. Yo, 1600 though.
50.
How do you got a 50?
50. This is basically a supercar. All right, so now you need carbon fenders, carbon doors. You need Lexan glass. To be fair though, hold on. So we're talking about 3200 complaining. Look at these lazy boy recliners in here. All right. Come on now. Come on now. Cool. Well, let's go see if it does like a half rip and go back to the house and nut and bolt some stuff. Cool. Give it hell. It was clean. It was like 12.8. Yeah. That pulls pretty good. That's not bad. Yo, we gotta do a dig now. Out here on Mexico, closed course. I swear it hung the tire. Did you feel it? It literally felt like it picked the tire up. That is so sick. It's so stupid. Oh, that's funny. Trans is awesome, actually.
I'm so shocked.
Shifts really good. Listen, you know, they're not all bad. 4L60s out here getting it done. That's awesome. That ran good. Air fuels were close enough. The Holley's doing its thing, and it's pretty rowdy. It's not very fast, to be honest, but like it's fast enough. That was a blast.
It's fast enough to be fun.
Yeah, like this thing's a blast. This is gonna be cool. As long as it stays together and doesn't give any trouble, yeah. I think Sick Week's gonna be a good time. Whatsoever. We had the fan fuse popped. I don't know. Probably just need a higher amperage fuse in there. If that's our only problem, yeah, we'll take it. So we just have to do a little wide open throttle tuning. We kind of tipped in a little bit. You can see it's lane, but that's kind of to be expected. But other than that, I mean,
yeah, it's
this thing's great.
It's a vehicle, and I think it's ready to drive to Georgia tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's fine, I guess, because Sick Week starts essentially kind of sort of tomorrow.
We gotta leave tomorrow.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap up this video here. As for the build portion.
You know, one of these days we'll actually have a build where we can, you know, sit back and document everything correctly instead of this, you know, mega rush. But unfortunately, we did the best we could here.
Yeah, we did the best we could.
I don't ever know how to end these.
All right, see you later, bye.
See you later.